We are here today with our first ever podcast here in Puerto Rico with the Puerto Rico Home Matchmakers. So, my name is Teresa Santos. This is my husband, Jeffrey Montalvo. And
Hello, everyone.
he is, we're basically going to have a chat today because we wanted to share with you guys what it's like and why we made the decision to actually move here to Puerto Rico and why you should do the same. So if you're thinking of relocating, just listen to our podcast. We're going to try to have this at least once a month where we're going to share a little bit about our life here, what made us move, and why we are not going back to the U.S. So, Jeff, I wanted to kind of ask one of the questions because we made a decision to move, after we met. And by the way, guys, we met online. Yes, we did.
Yes,
we met
we
on
did.
Facebook. Through that conversation and whatever, right? 4 years later, we relocated here and got married. But there was a process to all that, right? Because you were living in New York,
New York, yes.
and I was living in Miami. So that was he was leaving his New York City life, and I was leaving my Miami life, and decided to actually move here to our roots because we're both Puerto Rican. So we decided to move here.
Yes.
So I wanted to kind of interview Jeff a little bit today about one of the reasons or what were the main reasons that you decided to move, both personal, professional, and just what made you decide Puerto Rico versus deciding on Florida or North Carolina, right? I mean, why Puerto Rico?
Well, all throughout my childhood, I've always visited the island, be it because my parents always brought me here for vacation. But for the most part, in my early years of formation, it was because my grandmother was very, very ill. So most of the time that we came here was because she was very, very ill and my mom needed to be here. That kind of brought a unique tie within me to be here in Puerto Rico. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with just everything about the island. The island is just so unique anywhere you go. It's just 100 by 35. Anywhere you go, you throw a stone and you're on a beach somewhere.
Yes, and I think that's one of the great things about living here in Puerto Rico because obviously, Jeff, you didn't grow up here. You grew up in New York. Your
Yes.
parents are Puerto Rican,
Yes.
right? Both our parents are Puerto Rican, but we both grew up in the U.S. because you were born there, were raised there. You would come and visit.
100% New Yorican.
Yes, New Yorican. And I was actually brought up in Chicago, and then I moved to Miami. So, when you think about leaving the U.S. and now moving to an island, right? Our island where our roots are. Give me like one or two reasons that besides that, what do you love about Puerto Rico? What made you choose Puerto Rico over Florida?
To be honest with you,
Mhm.
I don't feel like I'm invisible. And when I say this, I don't mean it to be facetious in any way. What I mean is, I was brought up 100% in New York. And being in New York, the hustle and bustle, I gotta move. If you're in my way, move, because I gotta get to where I gotta go, things to do, people to see, money to make. And you would go, you're invisible in New York, at least for me, right? We go into restaurants here,
Yes.
and we don't know anybody. We could be on the other end of the island, and someone would walk into the restaurant, and the first thing they say is "Buen provecho." I mean, that is something culturally, like I'll hear any tourist come in and they're like, what did he just say? Or what did they just say? Why did they say that? They don't grasp the idea that people still hold on to that part of our culture where we honestly, deeply want the best for you. And we are taught that when you come in, you wish people that their food
Is a blessing.
is a blessing.
Yeah.
So, and that comes from our history of when times are rough here on the island.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, it's totally different from living in New York.
Yeah.
Island life, island time.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we love it too, because I always said, and I told Jeff this when we first met, I want to retire in Puerto Rico. That has always been my goal, that I would retire here in Puerto Rico. So a couple years back, I invested here in Puerto Rico. I bought a little house. I made it an Airbnb with the vision of eventually moving here and having a home already here. And so, but I didn't think about moving here now, right? I'm talking retirement. And retirement came not retirement, but the move came a whole lot sooner, because obviously we met and we both had the same goals in a sense, regarding, that we definitely wanted to end up here in Puerto Rico. And so when we started talking about it, and you told me that your parents, were desiring to move here to Puerto Rico.
Very much so.
Right. So, and we thought, okay, well, that's a great opportunity because they want to move here too. I know that you guys owned a building together. So, obviously you sold the house, and they were just excited about that because they got to move back to their island because they wanted to come back to their roots.
Well, it was funny because the decision was made while they were still here on their vacation. And I just decided, you know what, it's time to sell. I got tired of the cold, because the cold is so passé now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll deal with the heat here any day of the week. You know, we stand under a palm tree, we got some shade, we're good to go. Gets a little too hot, we go to the beach. So there's a relief somewhere. There's no real relief in New York. There's no life in the cold, period. We only get 2 months, maybe, of summer vacation. And that's a stretch.
Okay. So Jeff, as you're doing this, right, and you decided to make the move, and obviously we both decided to make the move early. One of the things that we both love about Puerto Rico is obviously our culture, right? Because it caused I always say your that blood calls you home, right? Every time I used to come on vacation, it was, oh my God, I wish I could just stay here, because I just felt like the warmth of the people, right? Which you don't get in the U.S. because, like you mentioned, in New York, people are just, get out of my way, I'm going to run you over. You felt invisible, right? We feel invisible. Coming from Miami, same thing. It's a bigger city. People were just, get out of my way. Nobody said good morning. Nobody said hello. Nobody smiled at you. And here, it's totally the opposite. It's everywhere you go, people, say good morning or good afternoon, or they greet you, or they say buen provecho when you're at a restaurant, and they wish you well on your food. Everyone's super helpful, very serviceable.
Yes.
Everywhere we go, the service has been phenomenal. Yeah. Do you have here and there, you have one that, there's always one, right? But for the most part, people here are genuinely, on island life, island time, and really just that island attitude.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico is an amazing, amazing island. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And one of the things that we both loved about it is that, like you said, it's 100 by 35, right? So you have mountains, you have beaches, you have rivers, you have lakes, you have, there's such a variety in this little small island that we can all enjoy, that, if you love the mountains, you can move into the mountains, and in, 15, 20 minutes, you're in the town, right? Or you can live by the beach if you're, someone who loves the water. There's, you got a circular island. You can go anywhere on the island and live by the beach. There's rivers, there's lakes, so you have a variety of styles of living here. And I think that that's one of the things that attracted me, because, coming from, New York, you had some mountains, you would drive out and you would have some mountains. Miami, that's like flat land. There is nothing. And I came from Chicago, and that was even worse. It's just building after building. So coming here and being able to see mountains, be, like you said, we can be in the mountains and 20 minutes later you're on the beach. That to me was just amazing to be able to to have the best of all that plus the food. We can't. I mean, the food. Hello.
Trying to fight
if
the
you haven't
pounds.
had Puerto Rican food, you're missing out.
Trying to keep the pounds off.
So, the food is amazing. And you mentioned this not too long ago, fresh fish,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So we don't have frozen fish, right? We get fish from the ocean, goes right,
Yes, there's so many
fresh.
places that, oh my God. You go to a restaurant anywhere along the coastline, you ask a fish, you're getting fish that was caught early that day and it's in your plate. I mean, that's as fresh as you're going to get.
Yeah, and that to me is amazing too. There's so many great restaurants here, so many great chefs. So if you're, love, eating out and trying everything, we have a variety of everything.
Yeah, the cuisine on the island is phenomenal.
Yeah. And guys, people say, oh my God, hurricanes, but you have hurricanes. First of all, hurricanes warn you when they're coming, like way in advance.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have the opportunity to either stay and deal with it, or you have the opportunity to just leave. But the construction of homes here are phenomenal because
they're not the homes of yesteryear.
Oh no, I like the house I bought was built in 1968, and we just recently bought this home that we're in right now. But the construction here, this house was built in 1968. You know how many hurricanes have been through that house, and it's still intact. So the houses here are built to withstand hurricanes. And even, as strong as Maria was, that destroyed a lot of homes, there was still a huge amount of homes that were still fully intact. So the ones that Maria really took were homes that, were already deteriorating. And Maria just finished them off. But there is so much opportunity here, which is that's the other thing I wanted for us to share.
Phenomenal
the opportunity. Yeah, share a little bit about the opportunities we have here.
Well, in our quest to finding this blessing that we're in now, we would go across different towns because we weren't marrying ourselves to a particular town. We would find homes that were just abandoned. People left after Maria, just left the island, left behind what they had, and never returning. And there's so many houses, beautiful, gorgeous homes, that all they need is a little tender love. And you could bring that house right back with minimal investment. And it's a shame because it's just all over. It's prevalent all over the island.
Yeah, I mean this house that we purchased is a perfect example of this.
Absolutely.
And I'll share in the caption our other YouTube channel where where we were doing the videos of the transformation of this home. And even though we're still in the process because we just moved in, we're still in the process. You can see the progress of this home that we're transforming. And it's a beautiful home, right? It's a beautiful home. It just needed that tender, loving, touch, that touch, those little things that we needed to get done in order to make it our home.
And in full disclosure, we haven't gone anywhere near over the top.
Oh, no.
It's just been very delicately put together, homely. That's what it feels like. It literally feels homely.
Yes. And you'll see the actor when we're done, if you check out our other YouTube channel. But, one of the things that I want to encourage, because I think that people will ask, right, we talked about hurricanes, the power outages, right? Puerto Rico right now is famous for power outages because of Luma, our famous Luma company. Even when we first moved here, I remember that we didn't have water because we hadn't connected the water yet at the place we were. And so, we were buying literally gallons of water at Walmart, and we were, taking it and warming it up on a pot. And then we were using little cups to take a shower. And you would think, that you can take a shower with 1 gallon of water. Like literally a great shower, even wash your hair with 1 gallon of water.
Flintstone eras.
And the thing is that we waste so much water, but in reality, it's amazing how this all comes to pass, right? So one of the things that I wanted to also share is that through all that, even with the power outages, because obviously we've had some power outages, I'm not going to lie. We've had some power outages, and we even had one, not too long ago for like a week.
Yep.
And we had a generator, so that got us by. But the first, you don't have AC. You had to kind of use the fans. You had to, limit your usage. But even through that and that experience, and all the people that stayed here during Maria, like there was so many people here that stayed during Maria and after Maria.
Absolutely.
That survived months without electricity, without water, and they survived.
The one thing I gotta give the people of Puerto Rico, I have to give them their due.
Resilience.
Resiliency was at the utmost.
Yes, I agree with you. Wow. We were saying about resilience, right? One of the things that we have to say about Puerto Ricans is the resilience that people have here on the island.
Absolutely.
To be able to survive Maria, which is, was one of the biggest hurricanes in the last 100 years.
First it was Irma. And right
Irma.
after Irma, a week later,
Maria.
they got hit with Maria.
Yes.
So it was like back to back.
And but the resilience of the people here, and not only that, people help each other here. It's
Absolutely.
not like you're left alone. And I have friends here who went through the whole process, and they're like, everybody pitched in, everybody came together. There was just unity in the neighborhoods, and people were helping each other. And we obviously got a lot of help from the U.S., which is amazing. But at the same time, it's just, I don't worry about those things. And I know Jeff doesn't, because we know that whatever comes our way, this is still home now. And we love our home because we have such an opportunity to do so many things here and enjoy life, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy life, because it is island. It is an island. So we don't have that hustle and that bustle of like every single day. Like, at any given time, we can just say, hey, let's go take a ride and be in the mountains, or let's go take a ride and go to the beach. Or it's just so much opportunity and so much opportunity in real estate here.
Yes.
So, and that's another thing I wanted to share, obviously, because we are in real estate, by the way.
Oh,
we're the Puerto Rico home matchmakers. We are both helping families here. That's another thing, guys. If you're looking to come back to Puerto Rico, if you were originally from here and you want to come back, now is the time for you to come back.
Absolutely.
Because the writing is on the wall. I always say the writing is on the wall, and I feel that this is going to turn out to be the next Hawaii. And so if you're looking to invest, this is the time to invest. If you're looking to come back home to Puerto Rico, this is the time to do it. Don't wait, because you might not be able to afford it 4 or 5 years from now. And we're seeing that. We're seeing the increase in prices, even though there's still a lot of opportunity. There's over 300,000 homes, the last count that they mentioned, that are abandoned. So there's so much opportunity here for you to come and invest and buy some properties, and there's a shortage of rentals for people who live here. So if you're an investor and you want to invest in multifamily, or you want to do something of that nature, and again, I encourage our people to come back home.
Absolutely.
You went to the States, and that's great. We did the same. Our parents took us to the States for the most part, at least me anyway. But coming back home and feeling the warmth of the people here and the culture, and knowing that if you get stranded in the middle of the road, somebody's going to pull over and help you.
We've seen that. People
will pull over and help a stranger on the road. That you don't see that in the U.S. People just drive you by, see you later, call a tow truck.
Basically.
But here, people actually do help. And, not too long ago, I went on one of my little excursions, and I was doing a video with a little drone, and my drone actually, the battery ran out, and it fell into like by the river somewhere in between some rocks. And obviously I couldn't climb down there. I have no clue how to climb into some rocks. So, I asked this gentleman, a young kid, and I said, hey, can you help me? My drone fell in there. I'll pay you. I'll pay you, if you can help me, get it from there. He's like, no problem. And he came, he helped, and he couldn't find it. And then another gentleman walked up and said, oh, is everything okay? I told him what happened. Oh, okay, let me help you. And they both started looking for the drone. until they found it, and I was able to recover it. But you don't see that anywhere else. And I offered to pay them, and they're no, don't worry. That can happen to anyone. And so that is what I love about our people. That is what I love about our culture. That's what I love about being here, and no regrets. I don't have any regrets. Do you have any regrets?
None whatsoever. I would like, if you don't mind.
No.
I mean, para nuestra familia puertorriqueña en los Estados Unidos, yo les exhorto que tomen una seria contemplación de regresar.
Yes.
No dejen de pasar las oportunidades que aún todavía existen aquí en la isla. Dejándolo pasar, ustedes se van a arrepentir inmensamente, porque la isla poco a poco se está llenando de extranjeros que están viendo el valor que hay aquí en Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Y si un extranjero lo puede ver, ¿por qué ustedes no?
Yes.
So
I wanted to just say that in English too, because obviously we have Spanish and English audience, but if you left Puerto Rico and because there's a lot of Puerto Ricans out there that don't speak a lick of Spanish. And by the way, guys, anywhere you go here, somebody speaks English. So it's not like you're going to come here and you're not going to be able to communicate. But what he was just mentioning is for those Puerto Ricans that are don't speak any Spanish and are listening to this, come back home. Invest in your island. Come back to your roots, because it's going to come a point where there's no longer, if you have a home here that you inherited, okay, anything of that nature, come back and reestablish that home. If not, give us a call, because obviously we're both realtors. We want to invest here, but we want to invest here knowing that we're going to be able to invest to help our people here. Not to bring in, people from outside to rent, but really to help the people here on this island that really need rental and cannot afford, $3,000 rent, right? Because there's some rentals here that are $2,500, $2,000, $1,200, $1,500. There's people here that can't afford that. So, for us, I know that my vision and our vision really is to be able to start investing in multifamily, but also to be able to rent to the people that actually live here, because there is a shortage of rentals. Not only for them, for elderly, there's a shortage of rentals for elderly. So, that's something that I think that is in our vision as we stay here long term. But come back. If you can come back to your island. And if you've never been here and you want to visit, come and visit, because you're going to experience what we experienced every time we came here, which made us fall in love with it every time we came here, which made us decide to move here. And there's a lot of people, even in our church, like half of them are from New York. We have New Jersey, we have Florida. We have people that are moving from all over looking for a home here on the island. I mean, my kids just recently moved here, my son and his wife and my 2 grandkids, which I'm hoping all my family comes here. But it's a start, right? And they just moved here and they love it. They're like, oh, wow, this is really home. And they've never lived here. They never, to them, they were raised in the U.S. So, for them to come here was a big leap of faith, and they took it. But, they're loving it. Their kids are loving it. And so, again, if you are interested in purchasing real estate here on the island of Puerto Rico and coming back, or you have a property here that you want to sell, to someone who's actually going to use that property for good, right? To give back to our Puerto Rican people, give us a call. Our information is going to be here, 786-226-7145, or Jeff's number,
939-500-6996.
And we're here to assist you. You can contact us. You can comment on this video. You can share it with someone that that might be interested. Just to know that we are here, and we hope to come back. This is our first podcast that we're doing regarding, living here in Puerto Rico. So we hope to come back with you with some more information as we travel and we experience life here. But this is home. This is home, and we are here to serve everyone who wants to come back to this beautiful island And if you're just wanting to buy here because you're tired of the cold or you're tired of the hustle and bustle, we're here to serve. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on our next episode. Make sure that you comment, that you share, that you like, that you subscribe to our channel, so that way we can give you some great information as we're living here and experiencing this beautiful culture on the island of Puerto Rico.
I also want to remind everybody out there, as realtors, we have access to professionals that can help you. If you have homes that were left behind, so that that from family members that you're going to inherit, we have people that can help you go through the process to try to help you go and get everything sorted out.
Right? Yeah, we have attorneys. We have, especially if it's a something that you inherited and there's like 17 and people who inherited the property. We have professionals here that can help you sort all that out. So that way you can either sell it, if you want to sell it, or if you want to keep it. We have, obviously we've made a lot of contacts with contractors and people here that can help restore the home. But again, we encourage you to either come back, or if you want to invest here or return to your island and purchase here again, this is the time to do it, guys. Don't wait. This is being recorded in 2025, August 6th, I think it is today, 2025. So if you're even listening to this, after this day, even if it's a year from now, make sure that you guys take a look at investing here in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, definitely give us a call, because we're here to help. We want to extend our services out to you in any which way, form, or fashion.
Yes.
We're family oriented, right? Key to Key Group, La Rosa Realty. We're here for you.
Yes.
And anything we can do to help you transition into that home ownership, we'll do what we can.
Yep.
We're here for you.
Yep. So thank you so much, guys. See you on our next episode, and blessings to everyone.
Blessings.